What's up, people? Somebody asked me to do another video of Fasting Fatman, and the request was something like, do another one of Fasting Fatman. He's still fasting, but he's still fat, something like that. So that is what I'm going to do. He fasted for like 5 months, and then he just did another 2.5-month fast, looks like. So I don't know what to expect here. I don't like follow these people, but let's watch this one. Let's make 2020 our year. By the way, if you guys have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers you want me to take a look at, let me know. Leave me a comment.
Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Big John, aka the amazing Fasting Fatman, aka the incredible Shrinking Man. Let's go to the scale, see what I weigh today, and then we'll get into today's broadcast. 222. Okay, it's always good when you go in the positive direction, when you're losing the weight. Always feel great. So again, it's the slow crawl to 195. I'm not worried about it. Like I told you guys, based on how I plan on eating going forward, and based on me going back to the gym, I'm going to get to 195. So I'm not even worried about it. Ideally, I really wish I had hit it on December 10th. You know, but I've accomplished so much in this year. I mean, think about it. Like last year at this time, what's today? Today's the 6th. I started my YouTube channel on the 8th. And if you guys remember from that first broadcast, I weighed like 490 something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like 2 days later, I weighed myself and it was like 496 or something to that effect. So you gotta figure when I did that first broadcast, I was like in the 490s. And look how much I weigh now. So I have absolutely no complaints about what I've been able to accomplish. But guys, this is our year. The slogan for this year: New Year, New You. New Year, New Me. Period. That's your mantra. Like I just shown you what you can accomplish if you just dedicate 1 year to one goal. I just showed you what could be done. So you guys can do it too. This isn't like, you know, like I wasn't struck by lightning. I wasn't bitten by a radioactive spider. I just had enough. I just found something that I love more than food, and I focus on that. And believe me, I know there are things in your lives that you love more than food that you just need to focus on.
All right, whatever. Anyway, who left that comment? 222 pounds? That's, I mean, okay, fine, still overweight. I don't know how tall he is. Does it say here? Probably not. Good for him, you know? 222 pounds. He looks like he's maybe like, is he 6 feet tall? I don't know. He looks like he's kind of tall, right? He's like tall. But he started out at 500 and he dieted for a year or whatever, and now he's at 222. So he lost 270 pounds in a year. That's pretty good. Like, could he have done better? Could he have lost more weight and like looked even better? Probably. I don't know. Is he working out yet? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say no or I don't think so, because like I've seen him like from like the chest up, not even. But still, like, to lose that much weight, that's an achievement, you know? And I'm not one to dole out attaboys for people based on fitness, really, especially people losing lots of weight as being obese. Like, I'm not going to like, you know, fluff anybody's ego or like pay lip service to the crowd for saying, oh, good job for losing the weight. But actually, like, good job for losing the weight. Oh, by the way, 225 or 2 minutes 25 seconds, 225 pounds. Is that what he said, right? Whatever. Anyway, 220 pounds. That's pretty good. You know, that's like, I've never been that heavy, but whatever. I've also never been 500 pounds. So good for him. You know, I don't, I guess he still looks a little heavy, but when I did my last video of him, he was 290 or something, and that was, when was that, like 6 months ago or something. Anyway, the point is this: like, once you get close to 200, that's good. And his goal is 195, so that, I mean, he's got to be at least 6 feet tall, right? I can't imagine that somebody would have their goal weight be almost 200 pounds and they're under 6 feet. Maybe, but I don't think so. Anyway, if you know how tall he is, let me know. Leave me a comment.
Whatever regimen you try, you don't have to do full fasting. You can do intermittent fasting. You can do keto. You can do carnivore. But whatever you try, you can do plant-based. But whatever you try, stick with it. Take it one day at a time, one mental battle at a time. Every mental battle you win brings you closer to winning the war. Willpower is a state of mind, and it's an exercise. The more you exercise your willpower, the stronger it becomes, to the point where it's no longer a task to resist certain things. Like the other day, my cousin was talking about the Wendy's chicken sandwich, and he was saying how, not my cousin Fritz is completely into fitness, but he was saying how you know, he don't understand what all the, you know, the hubbub's about. You know, people getting killed over it. It's just a chicken sandwich, and it isn't that. And in my mind, I'm listening to all this, and I could care less. You know, from the time this sandwich came out, I have had no desire to even try it. I could care less. I haven't even had desire to try to replicate it myself at home. I could care less. You know, someone had asked me, how do I know When did I know that my addiction to food was over? And I can't pinpoint a time, but I know this. There was a time in my past when like a commercial would come on for say Burger King, and like the nuggets are $1.49, and in my mind the calculation would be, I'm going, it's 10 nuggets for 149. I'm going to go out there and buy 50 nuggets. Like, this is the thought that would be in my mind. And before you know it, I'm getting dressed, I'm going out so I could drive out just to pick up those nuggets just based on that commercial. Now it doesn't make a difference what comes on TV. I mean, when my window opens, I make my food and I eat. If I, happen to be out with friends, I'll coordinate so then I'll eat during that time. Now I'm not eating carnivore or keto. Pretty much what I'm having is a balanced meal. I'll have meat, plenty of vegetables, and I'll try to get some fruits in between there within that 4-hour window. My goal.
Okay, great. Okay, well, so a couple things. Number one, all right. So first of all, I've never been to the point where like I saw a commercial. Well, actually, that's not true. Sometimes I see commercials on TV for food. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to eat that food. So I can't be like, oh my God, 50 nuggets though. I don't think I've ever eaten 50 nuggets at once. But what I really wanted to say, because what did he say? He says willpower is a muscle. Willpower, Roy Baumeister. I've mentioned this book many times, but this is arguably one of the, this is like if I had a book, not a book club, but like a book, what do they call it? Like a book list? I don't know. I think I'm losing it. Anyway, whatever. This is one of my books that I recommend to read because it's amazing. Written by this guy, Roy F. Baumeister, who I want to say is a psychologist. Yeah, psychologist, right? He basically studies all of these people who exercise their willpower, and he talks about willpower as if it were a muscle, even though obviously there's no willpower muscle. But like if you just think about willpower like a muscle, if you use that as like a frame for this concept, then it will encourage you to continue to increase the level of willpower that you exert on yourself on a regular basis, because you theoretically would want to strengthen that muscle if you think that strengthening that muscle will improve the quality of your life, which it will, which is a very like long, overly drawn out way of saying if you exercise willpower more often, even on small things, it will build up, right? Because like honestly, a lot of people, whatever, sometimes I'll say things like walking is an exercise, so don't walk, just go to the gym. But this is kind of like this is the problem of with taking advice from experts, right? And whatever, am I an expert? I think I'm an expert at this point. Like, sorry, I'm an expert on fitness, let's say, or health, or whatever you want to call it, right? But the problem is because I've been doing this for so long, and I have such a high baseline level of fitness, or high expectation of fitness for myself. I unfortunately like have that expectation of other people as well. So when I give advice, the level of difficulty, the things that I might tell people to do is higher than what they're used to. And it's not even necessary that they do something like that. And for example, instead of saying, go to the gym and go work out for an hour, right? To somebody who's like, let's say 500 pounds, like this guy, he's not going to do that. But if I'd said like, go walk around the block, right? Go like walk around the block, go do something, like just do these little things that will help you build your willpower until you get to the point where you are walking around the block and doing that. There's a concept called progressive desensitization or something like that, which is, let's say you're afraid of, I don't know, for example, you're afraid of snakes, right? First thing you would do is you would talk about snakes. And then the second thing you would do is you would look at a picture of a snake, right? And then the third thing you would do is you would look at like a rubber snake, for example, right? And you just like progressively desensitize yourself until you get to the point where you're like, whatever, holding a snake or something like that, right? So it's kind of the same idea, but the weakness of this, I guess, is that it requires a lot more steps when it's much easier to say, just go to the gym or just go buy healthy food or something like that, which is why, like, unfortunately, most advice is given by experts, but it's hard for experts to relate to people who are newer in whatever field this person is an expert in. So anyway, that's good advice for people who are extremely overweight. But like I said, the downside is that you're going to get people who like walk around the block a couple times, for example, and they don't really see any noticeable results. So they're like, well, fuck this. I don't want to walk around the block. Like I just like made all the effort to like go do this. I got no results from it, which is why I think fasting is so good, especially when you're so big because you see results really quick. You know, those first couple days that you fast, even me, I'm not like fat by any means, but if I don't eat for 48 hours, like I'm 5 pounds lighter than I was before. It's a noticeable difference in my face. If I fast for 2 days, like, I don't know, you know, like I look like a skeleton. So yeah, like, but here's the thing is that regardless of the method is important, right? But you need to have a goal is really what it is. You need to define your goal. Like I've heard him say many times, I don't watch this guy's videos, like, sorry, but I don't. But I've heard him say, I know that his goal is to get to 195 pounds. And he had a deadline also, which is very good. You just set your goal and then you figure out the best way to get to your goal, right? It's a 2-step process. Number 1, you set the goal. Number 2, you like figure out what you need to do to achieve that goal. So far so good.
This year, as I told you guys, is to become more defined, more that means lifting weights, going back to the gym, because next year, January, I want to be able to lift up my shirt like a situation and show you guys a six-pack. Hopefully that'll come true, and hopefully the whole theory of autophagy is 100% accurate, and there won't be a lot of skin to just kind of take away from the wonders of the six-pack. I wanted to come off the fast and do alternate day OMAD. Now, of course, as you know from the last fast, coming off the fast, it's like your stomach shrinks because you haven't been eating, so it's harder to get in a lot of food within the 4-hour window that I initially opened up in order to shrink down to 2 hours in order to become a nomad. But I went through this on the last fast. Eventually, I was able to shrink it down to 2 hours. On this fast, because I wanted to eat every other day, I wanted to get in about 3,000 calories on my eating day, because then that would break down to 1,500 calories a day based on the fact that the next day I wouldn't be eating. Now, I tried to do that twice, and I was successful, but the thing is, I wasn't able to get in enough calories, 3,000. I wasn't able to get in 1,500 before my window closed. So I thought that maybe it's prudent for me and healthier that I master getting the appropriate amount of calories within my eating window, shrink the window, and then start doing the every other day fasting. So hopefully I'll be able to start that in February. But I don't think, especially with me going to the gym, I don't think it's wise for me to go in a caloric deficit state and then don't eat the next day. I don't think that's going to be good for me. So I really want to get in the proper amount of nutrients on my eating days first. So for now, basically what I'm doing is I have a 4-hour window that I'm eating every day. So it's basically intermittent fasting with a 4-hour window. But for all intents and purposes, it is OMAD because I fixed the one meal like I was doing after the last fast, and I try to pick through it within that 4 hours. I might put it down, come back to it, etc., etc. But eventually I want to shrink that window to 2 hours. I'm trying to get in ideally anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 calories. But like I told you guys, because I came off that second fast, I'm not getting that much within that 4-hour window because I feel full quicker. And remember, like the last video, I told you the techniques to feeling full, and it really worked.
All right. So I don't, I'm not a fan of counting calories. I don't think you need to do it, like bottom, period, end of story, especially when you're like, again, like I said, not to take anything away from the weight that he lost, blah, blah, blah. When you're fat, what are you counting calories for? You need to count calories. Like you have plenty of calories on your body so that you don't need to actually count calories. Just eat until you're full. Like this is why I have my recommendations like so simple. Eat 1 meal a day, exercise with anaerobic training, go to the gym basically, and what's the other one? Eat mostly meat and eggs, right? Like to his what he said earlier about nutrition, how he's eating, he's like, I'll eat, my meal and I'm eating a balanced meal, I'll eat meat, I'll eat veggies, and I'll try and have some fruit at some point in there. So good for him, he's eating natural food. He says he's not doing carnivore or keto or anything like that. I don't think you necessarily need to. Balanced, I guess. It's funny if that's called a balanced meal now, like all these like crazy like fringe diets out there. But anyway, the point is that when you're like, he's 30 pounds overweight. Fine. That's a lot, I guess. But he was 300 pounds overweight. Right. So, and now he's only 30 pounds overweight. So at this point, like, let's say let's say he asked me, let's just say, let's say he asked me, he's like, hey bro, what should I do? Here's what you do. Fasting Fatman. Let me tell you, you go to the gym. Okay. You start doing full body workouts. It doesn't sound like, maybe he's like gone once or twice, but like hasn't really gone yet because he's still doing this alternate day OMAD and it's hard for him. And he said it's hard for him to eat. Like, I'm sorry, if you go to the gym, even if you're eating every other day, it's not going to be hard for you to get more than 1,500 calories. I could be wrong. Fine. Whatever. I don't think I am. If I had to bet, I would bet that he's not going to the gym. Anyway, the point, go to the gym, do full body workouts, all the muscles in your body, right? Do full body workouts, eat your 1 meal a day, mostly meat and eggs. I prefer to eat my meal at night. From what I recall, he also eats dinner. And eat mostly meat and eggs. Did I say that already? Like, there's so few things to actually recommend that I'm like repeating myself in the span of the 30 seconds that it takes me to actually like give my recommendations. That's it. Like, did I say anything different than I ever say before? I don't think so. I guess the only like nuance here is like when I say go work out and go to the gym, that could mean a lot of stuff, right? I'll make it even simpler for you. You know, all the like machines that you see, go do all the machines. This is what I tell people who like just started working out. Like, don't do squats, don't do deadlifts, don't do anything that'll require you to like learn too much, right? Like, go sit in the machine with the handles here, hold the handles and go like this, you know, and then go to the other machine with the handles here that like you can like only pull in this direction and do this, and then, you know what I mean? Go do that. Go do all of those, upper body, lower body, abs, whatever, you know, break it up into 2 days if you have to. But that's it, right? If you're new, go do that until you see like a little bit of a difference. And then slowly you can like copy other people, what they do in the gym, you know, which is always good. That's how everybody learns, really. Go to the gym every day, eat your fucking OMAD every day, throw away your calorie counting scale, eat as much meat and eggs as you want, as long as it's actually like meat and eggs, like no like frozen sausages or anything like that. Like if there was a nuclear apocalypse and you could not make it, do not eat it, period. Like if it requires electricity to make, don't eat it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It seems straightforward to me, but what do I know? But yeah, like you have a year to get ripped. You're 30 pounds overweight. That's not hard. That's actually not hard. I don't know. He has like a job or something. He's got like whatever other responsibilities. Fine. Okay, of course. But I don't think that's not such a lofty goal. Like honestly, losing 270 pounds in a year is way harder. Like not eating for 7 months out of the year is way harder than like going to the gym and going like this for like an hour or like this and eating every day. I don't know. All right.
Seriously, like eat your food very slowly. Take your time, chew every morsel, because it really does take time for your body to send a signal to your head that you're full. So in taking your time, you get that signal quicker, and you can spare yourself a good 20, 30 minutes of extra eating that you really don't need to. This year, I am dedicating myself to being a fasting coach to help as many people as I can. Now, you know, you don't necessarily have to do a full fast, but I've done it all. I've done full fasting, I've done intermittent fasting, and next month I'm going to end up doing alternate day fasting. So pretty much, I think that I'm in a position where, based on my personal experience and based on everything that I've researched and based on the course I took to become a certified fasting coach, I'll be able to help a lot of people. I'm working on the website. I know I've been working on this website forever, but you got to bear in mind, originally it was just going to be a membership website for you guys as an alternative to YouTube, where like we could discuss things, etc., etc. But now I'm changing the template to a coaching website, you know, where you guys can schedule appointments, I can give free consultations. So I'm hoping, I'm 99% sure that I'll be able to launch it by the next broadcast. But that's pretty much it, guys. Just remember what I told you guys. New year, new you. Like, don't live in the past. Just use the past as a lesson. Like, there was a lot of dumb things I did in the past when it came to my health. And I think back on it, and I'm like ashamed of it. Like everything from hoarding the food. And I got horror stories that I can tell you guys when it comes to like how addicted I was to food. You know, and in some of your emails, when I read it, I can relate because there's nothing that you've done that I pretty much haven't. You know, this is why I was morbidly obese. But I'm living proof that you can change. You know, and it took me a year. It took less than a year, really, because I felt the changes in me. Like I said.
All right. I know it's like a heartfelt moment and everything, but like I said earlier, decide what you want. And I know he's telling a story, he's relating an experience, but what he said, and I don't know what the context is people sending him emails and saying like, I'm also addicted to food or whatever. But like, focus on what you want, figure out what you need to do to get there, and just do it. You know, don't live in the past. Don't like agonize about like over what you did. I'm not saying he's doing that. This just reminded me of something else. But I see so many people just in everyday life obsessing about like things that happened in the past and like, well, no, like this is like this and that's like that. And this thing happened to me in the past and this thing happened to this other person in the past. And it's like, there's absolutely no mention at all of what they want and what they are doing to get what they want. Right? Like it's completely gone at all. You ask them what they want and they give you some vague explanation. Oh, well, I want things to be better. But like, what does that even mean? You know, decide specifically what you want. For example, homeboy here, he's like, I want to weigh 195 pounds. His current goal of like getting more ripped. Okay, fine. Or what did he say? Like, I want to lift up my shirt like the situation. Okay, I know he said that like tongue in cheek and it's like a joke, but that your brain understands that as a goal. Your brain takes everything literally, right? Which is why I always tell people, I always say, speak in literal terms, and why I always make an effort to speak in literal terms when I do these videos, and why sometimes I give unnecessarily long explanations for concepts that generally people would probably think are pretty simple, but I like explain them in a very specific way, a very detailed way, because I want to be as clear as possible so people who are watching this understand what I mean. And that's just me communicating to you. But what you have to understand is that when you say anything, you're communicating to yourself, even if you're talking to somebody else. So if you say, for example, I know some people who are always, whatever, certain communities, let's say, they always, certain groups of people in general, you ask them how they're doing and they'll say stuff like, oh, trucking through there, like just, going day by day or whatever. They'll give these like really watered down answers to people, just giving a simple greeting. Hey, how are you? They don't really want to know how you are, but like the meaning of the communication is like, well, I'm trying to deal with the pain of existence the best that I can. And I've been happier in the past and whatever, I have a problem, something like that. It's like when you speak that to somebody else, forget about the fact that people don't actually want to hear how you're doing, especially not if it's bad. It's a greeting. But when you reinforce that by saying it and listening to yourself say it over and over, you're cementing your reality to be that way. So it's harder and harder to get out of that. So anyway, don't do that. It's my like extra long explanation for that. Fasting coach, good for him. I would say that there's probably very few people on the planet that have gone so many days in a row without eating. So I guess that makes him qualified. He did lose 270 pounds in a year, which is very good. Like how many 500-pound people have gotten back to 220? Not a lot. I don't think. I highly doubt. Barely any, right? Should you pay him for that? I guess you should. Being a fasting coach, like don't eat. I don't know. Why do you need a coach? But if you think you do need a coach, you've got expendable income and it's important to you. Like if you had to hire somebody, I don't know, I'd hire a Snake Diet guy, but like nothing wrong with this guy. Like he's cool, nice, relatable. He did it on his own. Of course he wants to make money, wants to support himself and his family. Like everybody's got to eat. Do you like him? Hire him, I guess, or join his like paid community or whatever. It just reminds me, like when I was watching that, maybe I made a face, but I make a little bit of money online, used to make more, but one of the methods for making money online or making money in general that's extremely profitable with a very little amount of work is consulting, right? Or coaching as it's called. Okay. And you can coach various things, right? You can be like fitness. There's lots of different niches in fitness. You could be a coach for marketing or a consultant for marketing, for making money online, like whatever you want to do. And the reason it's so attractive is that people will pay you. I don't know how much he's going to charge. I don't know if he's going to charge like $1,000 a month, but in general, it's recommended that you charge between $1,000 and $3,000 a month, essentially to just give your clients, like tell them what to do. You're not even doing the work for them, right? It's not like, for example, let's say I have a business and I want to advertise on Facebook, right? I have two options. I can either hire somebody to do the marketing for me, or I can pay a consultant to tell me how to do the marketing, right? Which one do you think would be more expensive? You would think that paying the guy to actually do it for you is more expensive, but the consultant is way more expensive than that. Like I'm talking like actually $1,000 to $3,000 to pay somebody to tell you what to do. It's the biggest, I don't want to say it's a scam, but like it's an insane way to make a lot of money and you don't even have to do any work. You do have to do work. I'm not saying you don't have to do any work, but you're literally just telling people what to do. So anyway, I was going to do that also. I was going to do it, but like, I don't know. How do you bring yourself? I just don't eat meat and eggs and go to the gym and lift weights. That's the simple version. And then of course you can break it down. Like another thing that they say to do is for you to, make like a 6-week course, right? You make like 6 modules. Like for example, if I was just going to do a general fitness course, like 1 week would be mindset. Another week would be like exercise. Another week would be fasting. Another week would be nutrition, and then motivation, and like, I don't know, whatever, some other thing. You know what I mean? People get the 6-week course. They get 60 videos to watch. Do you really need that? I don't think you do. But again, like I said, with the whole expert thing, maybe that's just from my saturated like experience with stuff like this. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about.
said around day 90, day 100. Like that's when like I really felt things was changing for the better. And after the first fast, 150 days, which is like what, less than half a year, I was pretty much a different man. Like this is the result, the culmination effect of a whole year. But the actual changes that led me to this point was pretty much solid after the first fast, which is 150 days. So as we approach the 8th, which will be my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel January 8th. Today's the 6th. So in 2 days, it'll be 1 year since I was on YouTube. You guys who've been with me from the very beginning, one, thank you for your patronage. And two, you yourself have seen what I've done from the time I started broadcasting, even though my journey began before you guys have seen me. But like I always say, there's nothing really special about me. I'm just someone who decided that I wanted to change. So you guys can change anytime you want to. It's all up here. I remember one time I was watching Dr. Phil. This was many years ago. And he had an obese person on. And the obese person had said something to the effect that, oh, I don't know why I'm this size, why I'm so big. And Dr. Phil replied, it's because you want to be. And at the time, I thought like, wow, what a big a-hole. Like, why would you say that to this guy? This guy's going through some stuff. But ironically enough, like as I sit here, pretty much it is a choice. You may think it's not a choice, but that's just something we tell ourselves in order to continue giving into the addiction. It is a choice. It's a hard choice. And it's a choice like you have to make every single day. Every single day you have to literally choose to eat healthy. Every single day you have to literally choose not to cheat. Every single day you have to literally choose that the taste of the food is not more important than your health. The taste of the food is not more important than the people who love you, who will be, devastated if you were no longer in their life. The taste of the food is not more important than the ability to walk for 2 hours straight, not break a sweat, and look at your watch and say, my goodness, I've been walking for 2 hours. Like, I have to do, like I said, I really have to do a separate video for the non-scale victories, but sitting in a booth for the first time, you guys saw the excitement in my face when I was able to actually sit in the booth. And I don't know, it's just the feeling of quote-unquote normalcy. It just can't be beat. So guys, let's do this together. Let's dedicate this year, 2020, to being the best of ourselves, to being the best us. And like I said, I'm here to work with you guys. I'm available. You guys have all my social media handles, and hopefully next week I'll have a professional coaching site up and running. But anyway, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Let's really bang out 2020 together. Take care, guys. I see you.
Good for him. All right. There's a term, what's it called? It's in Japanese where like you see somebody who's doing well and you secretly, what is it? Like you're either jealous of them or you wish that they would like not do so well because it makes you feel bad about yourself. I forget what it's called. If you guys remember what that's called, like leave me a comment. It's like a 2-syllable word, I think. Anyway, whatever. I was watching that. This guy's got 30,000 subscribers. He's been doing this for a year. God, when is it going to happen for me? 2846. I should just honestly, I just need to do more videos of my body. I want to join a CrossFit gym. I'll talk about what he said in a second, but I want to join a CrossFit gym because those people are complete social media whores. And for me to pull out my phone and record a video at a CrossFit gym is not everyone will want to be in the video. I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, CrossFitters out there, but how mentally ill okay, so I read this thing on 4chan. It was a CrossFit thread, and they were talking about CrossFit girls, right? Because the guys, mainly guys on 4chan on the fit board, you have kind of a very strong attraction, or you have an attraction, very strong attraction, I would say, a lot of them, us, to girls who have unreasonably large muscles, big thighs, muscular thighs, a bubble butt, you know what I mean? And so the conversation frequently turns to CrossFit because girls who do CrossFit are very fit, and it's likely that a lot of those girls either do Olympic lifting or CrossFit or something like that because they're jacked. Anyway, fuck, why was I talking about this? Oh, right. And somebody made a comment. It's yeah, girls who do CrossFit, they're super ripped and healthy and in shape, and they care about themselves and they care about what they eat and blah, blah, blah. It's a fit guy's wet dream. And somebody left a comment. They were yeah, but you need to be kind of mentally ill to do Olympic lifts in your underwear, which is a lot of the because they go there in whatever, the tight spandex shorts and a sports bra because they want to show off their abs and their bubble ass and their big legs, which is what will happen to your body if you do CrossFit. You know what I mean? Anyway, what this guy say? Let's help it. Let's do it together. Good for him. Good for him. Yeah, honestly, good for him. Make 2020 your year. It's straight up good for him. Jealousy aside, seems like a nice guy, clearly has a lot of experience with not eating. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The whole thing that he said about was very poignant. He's the taste of the food is not as important as your health. Brilliant, amazing. This is a concept that I'm very lucky to have been exposed to at a young age when I read, I want to say it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, which is some book he wrote in the 70s. It's like a picture book. But there's a lot of really good like old school wisdom in there. And what he said, I'll never forget it. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, the momentary pleasure that you get when you put a piece of food in your mouth is not as important as the lasting effect that it'll have on your body when after you eat it, or something like that. And that's pretty much what he just said just now. He's like, the taste of the food is not as important as blank, your health, or what your family thinks about you, or being able to walk for 2 hours. But a lot of the time when if I'm going to the grocery store, if my willpower is strong enough, I'll look at the food and I'll think to myself, ideally I'll do this every time, I don't always, most of the time I do, I'm like, okay, is this going to push me closer to like looking how I want to look and making me healthier, or is it going to bring me further away, right? So anyway, whatever. Okay, so Fasting Fatman, good for you. I hope you make 2020 your year. I wish you the best of luck with all of these things. I don't even think these are affiliate links, are they? These aren't even affiliate links, I don't think. Should turn those into affiliate links, right? GP. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't think these are affiliate links. Turn those into like Fasting Fatman. Have you not joined the like Amazon affiliate program? You get one like Amazon Associates, right? Like for example, let's just say you can install this little toolbar. I think this is a toolbar, I'm not sure. You get this little text link, and this is what an affiliate link will look like. It's amzn.to/ blah blah blah. I could be wrong, but like, bro, this is money you're leaving on the table, you know what I mean? Anyway, I could just keep talking about this for hours, but good for him. Good for him. Secretly jealous of his success. I hope he gets fat again. No, I'm joking. I don't actually. But anyway, yeah, if you guys have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers you want to take a look at, let me know. Leave me a comment. Also, check me out on Instagram. This is me, Your Time to Shine 111. Follow me, send me messages, bother me, like my everything. Pay attention to me. Peace.